Well, welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager and the Haas playthrough in the Fire mod. We've got just 4 races to go now till the end of the season, and 4 races to go till we have to make our big decision in terms of who we're going to go with to partner Leclerc next year. Potentially, unless Magnussen pulls off something magnificent. But to be fair, Leclerc, he just is the better driver now, I'm afraid. So I think we will be keeping Leclerc no matter what happens. But hopefully K-Mag can go out with a bang. If he can somehow claw back that points advantage, well, let's see what happens, shall we? If he does, then he might just deserve the drive, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm afraid Leclerc is the better driver, in my opinion. Jonathan Edwards, ex-triple jumper. I don't know why you're asking interviews to do with F1, but apparently the mod makers decided he is an F1 person now. I never understood that. Whether he does some motorsport coverage for Eurosport, I don't know. But he used to be an Olympic triple jumper for the United Kingdom. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Right, I just wanted to check. That scouting facility will be done in 10 weeks. So, it should be done before the end of the season. Maybe just after, which might be a bit difficult to get another driver on board, but we'll wait and see. Or one of the IndyCar drivers, should I say. As we know, we're not making any more parts now. We're just making sure we save the maximum amount of money for next year's car. Facilities and the like. Reliability looking pretty good across the board now. Obviously, we're going to eke out the last little bit of performance we can from the car. We may as well put the reliability on 92, I guess 88. We may as well get all the minimums up, and then we can push as hard as we want. And yeah, it's going to be so tough, especially after Perez's result last time, to beat Force India, but we're going to give it our all. Connor De Filippi was one of the Americans we scouted, 30-year-old. Yeah, he's not really the kind of material we want, unfortunately. So we'll see what Joey Hand and Del Dole come back with. And then, of course, once we finish this scouting facility, we'll be able to see if there's more American drivers on offer. To be honest, they're going to have to be really, really good to make up my mind to swap between what I've basically settled on, which is probably Daniel Ricciardo. We all love him even more after Monaco this weekend. He's a great driver for the money, and when you're looking at someone like Alonso, he's just asked for so much money, way too much money. Renault trying to bribe us, are they? I wonder if you're interested in voting in favour of reserve drivers' championship position grids in the next vote. Oh, reversed. I thought that said reserve drivers championship. I was like, yes, please. That sounds amazing, but no. Reverse drivers championship. That would be a massive risk for us, but could potentially be great as well. That would make the races pretty spicy, but I feel it's against F1. I don't. It might pass anyway, but I'm not gonna go with it. I will not be susceptible to bribes from rival teams. I'm not that kind of guy. Unless they offer us over $1 million, then I might consider it. Right, that vote will be after this race then. So, as per usual, we shall get practice underway. I don't think there's any changes to the cars, because we haven't built anything for a long time. So no, it's going to be exactly the same parts as last time. Okay, I shall get practice underway and be back with you guys for qualifying. Well, welcome along to qualifying then. And once again, we'll be hoping that we can challenge the top 10, or the fringes of it. We've got to get both cars in the points. Come on, we can do it this time. This is going to be our weekend. And if we want to beat Force India, that's what we're going to have to do pretty much every weekend until the end. Because Perez seems hell-bent on getting ridiculous points hauls all on his own. So we need both cars in the points to try and balance that out. But of course we're here in Japan. Not too many straights, so I don't know that this car's going to be all of that to our benefit. That's not even a sentence. I tried my hardest on that one, but that's definitely not a sentence. Anyway, first laps aren't too great. We're about 3 tenths behind Stroll is our first benchmark in terms of the cars we're normally fighting. Hulkenberg's gone P4 just ahead of us. Perez has gone straight up to P4. Ricciardo, Verstappen just ahead of us. Yeah, so we're going to need about another 3 or 4 attempts to get into the top 10 if we can manage it. Well, a tenth technically, but I think the AO will probably improve as well. So, we always do better on our second runs because we go out stupidly early in our first stints. So, hopefully the track will be at its greenest now and we can find a bit more speed. Both our guys looking like they're on form as well, which always helps. So, yeah, I mean, even if we start 11th and 12th, I'd be happy with that. But let's see if we can push for a top 10 starting position from both of them. Only a few hundredths between them this weekend as well. So it's looking like it's going to be a battle royale between our two drivers. And Magnussen's definitely back on form after his points scoring position last time out. But whether that will actually transfer over into the race, we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of traffic here for Leclerc. So I've got a feeling this might not be the greatest lap in the world, but we'll wait and see. Across the line they go. Yeah, Leclerc only improves by about 10th. Magnussen finds a good 3 or 4 tenths of a second to comfortably out-qualify Leclerc then for the first time in a long time and get himself just into the top 10. Bit disappointing from Leclerc. It might have been that traffic though. He was in heavy traffic. And once again, it's so close. I mean, and Stroll actually putting in an incredible lap time this time round. 2 Red Bulls struggling. We're actually ahead of both Red Bulls with Magnussen. And for Kimi Räikkönen struggling in for Ferrari as well, down in 6th. So this looks like a strong weekend for Williams and Force India. So we're going to have to fight hard here to hold on to our 5th place in the championship. But we will do our best, of course. Maybe we'll be helped out by the weather. Probably not. Because if it's anything like real life in Japan, it's either... I'm fine with the reliability now, so we'll go medium and race gym. It's either bucketing it down or it's dry. You never really get an in-between. Considering our starting positions, I don't think we can we might be able to stretch a one-stop out, but it would be so slow. I think because the medium tyres are what we've got all our bonuses on, we're going to probably go medium tyres the whole race. We'll wait and see how it turns out though. Let's get underway, shall we? It's a crucial one, this one. How's the Drivers' Championship doing anyway? Lewis Hamilton miles out ahead them. Mercedes really dominating this season. It's got to be said. Right, underway. It's a pretty good start from Magnussen. He's going to make up a place into turn 1. He's actually just gone round the lot of them. And he's up into 6th. Leclerc up into P12 then. What a start from Magnussen. He's now up into P5, battling with Auer, and he's ahead of both Williams. That's a staggering start. But watch as we instantly go backwards as we turn everything down. Because we seem to be the only one that ever does that. The Williams have obviously got a charging system that gives them a lot of boost early on then. That's what's allowed Auer to get back past Magnussen there. Leclerc making some good progress as well. Up to P9. And let's see if we can stay with these guys. Because at the moment, we're looking very competitive. But Perez has just got past as well. Magnussen says, not on your life, mate. And makes it back past. And then Perez takes us again. This seems to be the trend with our races of late. We make great starts, and then as soon as we turn everything down to look after things, all of a sudden we start going backwards. But to be fair, we're on similar race strategies to everybody else today. In terms of tyres, Perez is on the soft tyres ahead of us, but the rest of us are going to be on the mediums. Ricciardo has started on the hard tyres then. Where is Verstappen? Verstappen down in 14th on the softs then. This does not look like Red Bull's race. So that knocks 2 people out of the top 10. I mean, Ricciardo's still a threat on those hard tyres. He's going to go long, that's for sure. And he's still holding on to the back of this field. But tyres are overheating a bit. I'm probably going to conserve. Probably should have done that a bit earlier. Whether that's going to fire us backwards, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Who's that out? Bottas has made an unbelievable mistake and is out already after just 6 laps then. And yeah, if both Red Bulls stay out of the points, and especially now Bottas has gone, there's a good chance of some big points this weekend. Auer and Perez might not be possible, just because those 2 guys have just driven out of their skin all year, and they seem such a cut above the rest of the midfield in terms of their performances. But if we get the strategy right, look after these tyres, then you never know. We're not exactly getting eaten up as I expected we would. Ricciardo is coming back through now. So now these medium tyres start to drop below 50%, those hard tyres will be the quicker race tyre as this stint goes on. So we've got to watch out for the Red Bull. But Magnussen's definitely holding his own. He's on top form. Look at that, perfect 10. And maybe we've been a bit too vocal in the press. Maybe some of these things we've been saying have somehow got back to him, and he's trying to prove himself. To be fair, he probably knows his time might be up, considering he hasn't been offered a new contract yet. That's probably what he's driving for. But let's see how this turns out. I don't know if he's a roadblock, because the other guys are fighting between themselves, or whether we've got genuine pace. We're definitely dropping off Perez and Auer. Ricciardo's just shot past out of nowhere. I think he must have used some boost there or something. Which, to be fair, we've got quite a lot to use. So we'll probably use it out of this little hairpin here. Down the 2 main straights. Before our pit stop. We've probably got another 3 or 4 laps maximum out of these tyres. And let's use the boost here. Down the main straight. That gets Magnussen back past Stroll. And that gets Leclerc up almost 4 places up into 5th then. And Magnussen almost getting past Ricciardo with that boost. There was plenty to use then. Right, I'm going to go down to medium, save a bit of fuel. And then we need to make a decision when we're going to pit. If we're going to 2-stop this, we're going to need about 13-14 laps out of these mediums to make that work. Maybe even more. But we could do 1 stint on the hard tyres. I'm going to pull Magnussen in this time around for, yeah, I think a set of mediums then a set of hards for the final stint. Or we go hards and then softs. I think because we have pretty good tyre wear and we have the bonuses on the mediums, I'm going to go for the mediums. And then I'll bring the Leclerc in 1 lap later. If we can do 2 stops on just mediums, then I would much prefer that, because obviously the pace is going to be better. But we have to wait and see how far we can drag them out in the second stint, because we overheated them a little bit and probably lost a couple of laps of life in this stint. So let's see if we can drag them out. But at the same time, all this looking after the car and looking after the tyres is not good for the overall pace. Everybody is going onto the hard tyres, it would seem. So we're going to have the advantage in this stint. So we need to make it count, really. Right, Magnussen has already pitted. It's Leclerc I should be watching. You idiot. Yeah, idiot. In he comes. Hopefully no mistakes. And we'll see where he comes out in relation to Magnussen. Long old pit lane. And he's going to get out just... I hate the way that cars just stop dead into the back of them. It's like they have no foresight whatsoever. Leclerc gets out just ahead of Magnussen then. Hulkenberg's ahead of us. Verstappen is ahead of us. He must have stopped very early though. Not much life left on those mediums. And Perez and Stroll are now almost 5 to 8 seconds down the road. Ocon has actually managed to split us. And who are we waiting for then? I guess Ricciardo. Ricardo's the person we're waiting for. But we've lost a few positions here. And we need to be careful. But again, I feel looking after the tyres is going to put us in good stead. We are doing a bit of fuel saving in this stint as well. To enable us to keep the engine mode high for the rest of the race. So we'll probably save most of this stint in terms of fuel saving. And then we will turn the engine up and go on the attack for the final stint. And I think it's probably going to be hard tyres for the final stint as well. So as I was saying, we really need to make this stint count. So I'm wondering if we should go to neutral, let them overheat a bit. Knowing that we can go safely onto the hard tyres for the final stint. We're going to let that boost go all the way opposite again as well. So who am I worried about? Ricciardo's come back out in 7th then. Just behind Perez and Stroll. So the Red Bulls are looking competitive in comparison. But Hülkenberg, Ocon and Kielwitz are all definitely in range. So maybe 9th and 10th, that's still not really good enough. Considering the points that Perez is scoring. And Ocon is currently in the points as well, let's not forget. I mean, if it finished how it was, we would end up a massive way behind Force India. And we can't allow that. I forgot, I think they actually overtook us last time. Did they? No, they were a couple points behind. Okay. I think we need to start pushing a little bit now. And try and get ourselves back into the race. We've done all the saving we can. Whether it was the best strategy, I guess we'll find out. We're going to use this boost down the main straight and try and get ourselves back in contention for the points. Okay, we're past the Renault. And Magnussen gets past as well then. And that puts us right back onto the tail of Ocon and Hülkenberg. So we're back in the fight. We're turning everything up and see what we can get out of it now. Now Verstappen has made his second stop down in 17th. He might be able to take those hard tyres to the end of the race, but he's going to be slow. But we are going to be on hard tyres for the final stint as well, let's not forget. But let's see how far these mediums go. We did look after them very well in the early part of the race. And they've done... Well, they've only done 9 laps. I thought we'd done a bit more than that. We might be able to eke this out, you know. And go on to the mediums for the final stint as well. Because I feel a lot of these guys on the hard tyres will put either the softs or the mediums on right at the end. And that's going to put us under a lot of pressure at the end of the race if we're on aging hard tyres. So we want to try and stretch this out. But at the same time, Magnussen's already down to 33%, so I think we're going to have to put the hard tyres on. Leclerc's made good progress, by the way. He's got past Hülkenberg and Ocon. Magnussen trying to find a way past now. Hülkenberg has pitted very early then. And has put another set of mediums on. So Hülkenberg must be free-stopping, surely. If he's put the mediums on. He's not going to get those to the end now. So that maybe takes the car out of contention. So let's go as far as we can. Magnussen can probably only do another lap or two. He'll have 17 laps to go after this. It's a long way to go on those hard tyres. So I might try and get another lap out of these if we can. Leclerc should definitely be safe. Magnussen is going to be cutting it fine. But if a lot of other cars are free stopping, then our strategy is right on target for some big points. If they're not, then they're going to have to be looking after their tyres at the end of the race as well. So this could go either way still. Right, we'll go to the hard tyres. I think we'll keep pushing on the fuel for the moment. And yeah, we probably lost a few too many laps by pushing, but you saw how quickly we came back at Hülkenberg and Ocon. And that's what we need to have the ability to do in the final stint. We don't want to be nursing a car home because we'll lose out. to the likes of Hulkenberg and Ocon. And maybe Verstappen late on. Magnussen's actually come back out just ahead of Verstappen. That's good news. So if Verstappen doesn't have to pit again, which I'm pretty sure he'll have to, we are ahead of him with fresher tyres, so that should do us good. Right, Leclerc can come in this time around. He's gone quite a bit longer than I thought he maybe could have. We could potentially go on to the mediums. I mean, he's got 14 laps out of them both times. So we'd only have to do one more lap than we've done before with less fuel. But we wouldn't be able to push on them. Let's go for it. Let's go on to the mediums and look after them. I feel that will get us more speed over the course of the stint. And I've got a feeling quite a few people are going to be on soft tyres at the end. In which case we're going to need some rubber to defend. Right, we can probably stay on neutral with Magnussen. Leclerc will probably have to go down to conserve for those medium tyres to get comfortably to the end. And if we conserve for a bit longer than we did before, then hopefully that means we can get that extra couple laps. Oh, it's a big mistake from Leclerc. He's lost 3.4 seconds in the pit stop. He's still come out ahead of Magnussen though. He's really fought back in this race, has Charles Leclerc. And that was a monster second stint. And just think where he'd be if he hadn't have lost those 3 seconds, hey? I wonder if he's going to hold up Magnussen here, though, because he is conserving. I don't like team orders, but I might consider them. I'll have to wait and see. Who's that? Kielwitz getting back past Magnussen. It's alright, Kielwitz has got to stop again. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Ocon's come out ahead of us then. The likes of Hulkenberg and Stroll probably going to have to stop again also. So this race will come back to us. As I say, they'll all probably put the soft tyres on for the final stint. So we're going to have to save some tyres, save some fuel to be able to defend late on. Okay, let's get ready to use the boost down the main straight. This will hopefully get Magnussen out of trouble. We have got blue flags though. I don't know if this will be the best time to use it, but we will use it anyway and hope. That will just get Leclerc clear, and that should be enough. It is for Magnussen to get past Kielwitz and Verstappen. Now hopefully he doesn't lose all that time letting the leader through. If he does it smart here, he's done it smart. But Kielwitz has still got pretty good pace. He's got to stop again though, surely. Look at those hard tyres. Very little life left on them. And Magnussen may be taking a bit much out of these hard tyres. They're already down 67%. I think I'm going to conserve for a few laps. Leclerc looks after the mediums perfectly. And I'm trying to look for the first people that have stopped. So, I mean, Ocon is 5 seconds ahead of us. And what's our lap times doing? Just a tiny bit slower. Kielwitz has gone in for soft tyres, as I thought they would. So the real question marks are Hulkenberg and Stroll. Are they going to have to stop again? Verstappen's just passed us on age-old tyres. Come on, K-Mag, this shouldn't be allowed. Got to fight for this, mate. He might have made a mistake, but potentially not. Verstappen just did a 1 minute free. He must have had a lot of boost to use there to do a 1 minute free on hard tyres that must have done 15 laps or so now. Right, I'm just going to turn the fuel down a little bit for a lap or two, and then we can go on the aggressive at the end. Hulkenberg has now stopped. Verstappen stopped again, so they'll be charging late on. Stroll is the only question mark now. He's pitting now, so will we come back out ahead of Stroll? Leclerc does. Magnussen does. And Stroll's put the mediums on then. My voice is going awfully for some reason. I'm trying to persevere. Right, we've got some fuel to use. We've got plenty of tyres left. That's a very late stop from Stroll, and he's put the medium tyres on as well. We should be okay here for 8th and 9th. Right, I feel the tyres are fine now. We're going to go high and we're going to go neutral on both cars. We've got some boost to use as well. Gasly is catching Magnussen like shit on a stick right now. How is Gasly so fast? Not supposed to have a Honda engine in the back of it. It's almost a second a lap quicker. I'm going to save up that boost and use it down the main straight. Just 3 laps to go, so Magnussen, if he uses that boost, should get about another second of protection. But, I mean, Gasly is absolutely flying. It could have just been some boost. It could have just been 1 lap. Let's see what he does this time around. He's back in the 1 minute 5s then. And Leclerc does a 1:03.9, Magnussen 1:04.1. So we're hitting pace right at the right time here. And we've got 2 laps to go. I think these tyres are probably going to hold on. So let's push for the remaining 2 laps. And see what we can do. I mean, Leclerc is sort of catching Ocon. He was a second quicker that last lap. Whether he can keep that up, a lot of that would have been because of that boost. So I don't think he's going. Yeah, he's not just gone down to 4 seconds. Gasly's dropped a long way back now, running out of tyres, and probably had to let some lap cars through. So I think we've got this wrapped up. Race ending this time around. Everybody's been lapped, so we will definitely see the checkered flag. Leclerc just 3.7 seconds behind now. But it's not going to be good enough to get past Ocon. But we finally achieved it, ladies and gentlemen. Both cars in the points, 8th and 9th for Leclerc and Magnussen. That is as good a race as we could have hoped for, I think. It's a little bit sour, because yet again, Williams and Force India have just demolished this race. I think that was Auer on the podium. Yeah, Auer's in 3rd, Perez 4th, Ricciardo 6th, means Red Bull still gets some decent points, and Ocon 7th. Yeah, I think we know our place this season, and it is well and truly 6th. We got some lucky results early on, which really flatters us, I think. And it shows you how much money we're going to need to put in the car to turn our fortunes around. But to be fair, considering our budget, considering it's only our 2nd season, I think we've got to be pretty happy with how we're doing. I mean, Leclerc stays 8th, then Magnussen stays 10th. And we do stay 6th in the championship then. We're still in range of Force India if something incredible happens. And Red Bull are falling back towards us as well, to be fair. They did not have a good race that time. But I think it's fair to say we're going to finish 6th. We've known that for a while. Whether we can come back at any of the teams ahead of us, time will tell. But I'm as happy, regardless of the points that Williams and Force India got from that race, I'm as happy with that as I've been with any race for a long time. That was our aim at the beginning of the season, was to get both cars in the points regularly. And I think this is the first time we've achieved it in a long time, I want to say. I can check back through that now, to be fair. You can have a quick look at that. So, Singapore was 8th. 10th for Leclerc in Milan. 8th in Ardennes. Guildford, 7th. Munich, no points. Vancouver, we have to go back to Vancouver the last time both our drivers were in the points then. So that's some good consistency, and if we can keep that up till the end of the season, I'd be fairly happy with how it's gone. But Phoenix next time up, the home Grand Prix for the Haas team. And Phoenix has always been pretty good to me in Motorsport Manager. So I'm really hopeful that we can have a good result there. We're pretty good on tyre wear as well, which is always important around there. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget that like button. You can subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. That's the first time in a long time I've said that. I realised the other day. I've stopped saying that. But yeah, do subscribe if you enjoyed. Go back and watch the series. And maybe turn up for a few of the live streams me and Rage do. But as always, thank you everybody, and I'll see you again very soon.